thing about these corporates is their interview processes are standardized. Questions pretty much fall in the same patterns.
AI wave seems to be larger than all the other waves combined, right? Because we are literally manufacturing intelligence now.
Then I asked him directly, is Microsoft a retirement company? That's what I hear the talks, because work happens really slow. You release something once every few years.
I didn't know that I could open Microsoft Word, I could open a Copilot and say, you're a product manager at Microsoft, write a product spec on a feature, and it will actually write a good product spec.
I'm amazed you said I Googled for my Microsoft interview. I thought you would now say I Binged it.
Now I want to move on to the more interesting part of your journey, and which is the last 3 years or so at Microsoft as a product manager. What I want to understand from you is our core market is other people who are in jobs just like you, right? Product manager jobs. How do you move ahead? How to get into Microsoft, and what is life like at Microsoft?
Okay. So first I'm going to talk about how I got my interview call, right? And I think this is a good lesson of why networking is very important. So I had attended Grace Hopper convention, and all the tech companies had different stalls. There was Google, Microsoft, and so on. And Microsoft was the only company which had like a senior leader present in their stall, right? So I walk up to him and I actually, start talking, and then I asked him directly, is Microsoft a retirement company? That's what I hear the talks, because work happens really slow. You release something once every few years. Is it true? And I think the way he answered it is what really won me over. First of all, he did not get defensive, or he did not treat me like, what is this newbie telling me kind of attitude. Instead, he was like, no, that's not the case anymore. That might have been true like a year or two back, but hey, here's how our product works now, and this is the cadence at which we're releasing. I think the humility with which he answered, the amount of knowledge that he had, I think I had huge respect for him after that meeting. And he in turn asked me a bunch of questions, and then he said, hey, why don't you leave your resume with us? So I left my resume with him, and he called me for an interview that year. And that year I said, hey, I'm quite happy with where I am with Flipkart. I'm not planning to give an interview. He was respectful of it. And the super surprising thing is, next year he remembered again when they had a hiring drive. That was during the lockdown where we've not traveled, and I thought, hey, I wanted a change. So I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I tried Microsoft, and it was a very smooth, well organized interview process. So there was a day you had to give like 4 interviews, and the interview is one is on product thinking. There's a round on analytical thinking. Are you able to think on behalf of your customers, the business aspects of it? And then there is a bar raiser round where they check your cultural fit, right? So that's how it works. Now, preparing for the interview, there were 3 things that I had done, because I knew it was Microsoft was not giving any other interview, so it was very easy for me to focus. There were 3 things that I did. One was read this book called How to Crack PM Interviews. It really covers the basics of, hey, what is PMing? Because if you ask me, PMing is still very ambiguous. The role is very different in different organizations. So this book talks about, hey, what do PMs do in Microsoft, right? And what do PMs do in Amazon, and so on, right? And it gives you like a basic set of questions to prepare. So I would prepare those questions. There were a few other friends who were preparing with me. So we would, give mock interviews to each other. It would start with some basic questions like, tell me about yourself, and then we would give feedback to each other. Second book that really helped is this book called Decode and Conquer. So that has a set of case studies, which again with solutions in it, but you can actually look at, hey, I think I can do better than the solution, and try to come up with a unique perspective. That workbook is like really good for it. So these were 2 books cover to cover that I had read and prepared. Third thing that I had done is actually Google. So good thing about these corporates is their interview processes are standardized, right? Questions pretty much fall in the same patterns. So if you can just Google and understand people's interview experience, and if you read like maybe 10-15 interviews, you pretty much get an idea of 80% of the questions that's going to come. So you look at them, you practice them, you find if they have already listed answers, you find like what could be better with those answers, and then you try to do better. I think these really helped with my interview.
I'm amazed you said I Googled for my Microsoft interview. I thought you would now say I Binged it.
No, no, no. I think one thing is being aware of where our product stands and
Hmm.
having the drive to improve.
Okay,
That's
I'm
something
actually
we
going to go
Microsoft
on a
has.
very short digression. Do you see see with OpenAI and
Sure.
Microsoft, what do you see the future of search or AI search now, not just a web search? Do you see Microsoft has
Yeah, let's call the
closed the
classical
gap? Do
term.
you see them leading very
Yeah.
soon on that?
What's more important, what I think we all see in every conversation that Microsoft is having, is Microsoft wants to lead the AI wave, right? Microsoft did not make it through the phone waves, and we lost the tablets and all of those mobile devices kind of wave. Then even in the OS one, the Android, we lost to that. So there are a bunch of these waves which could have been Microsoft's but lost due to whatever reasons. I think with AI, there's a very strong drive to lead the wave and not fall under it, right? So with that perspective, I think there is a lot of innovations that they are trying out, right? So usually we hear, hey, it's a big company, they're going to be slow to try things and make mistakes and all. But actually, I'm seeing the opposite, very open to experiments, very open to trying out new things. And I think that growth mindset that they're showing will really help with this battle, and the effort that they're putting into ensuring, they're on the cutting edge, trying everything innovative and stepping out of the comfort zones. That will
Very
really
good
help.
answer, Rinku. So, can you make it real for our audience? Make it real. I lost on the mobile operating system wave with Android. I lost out on the internet search engine wave with Google. I lost out on the mobile phone wave with iPhone. Microsoft has just lost so much that I see that this new Microsoft doesn't want to lose the AI wave, and it is so interesting that AI wave seems to be larger than all the other waves combined, right? Because we are literally manufacturing intelligence now. So,
Right.
can you talk about something that's already out there in the
Right.
public, like or anything that you can think to make it more real?
Yeah. So something as simple as your word, right? Until like 6 months back, every spec that I had to write, I had to write it from scratch, every single word. Today I open and I just open Copilot on the side and I tell it, hey, you're a product manager in Microsoft. You are building XYZ. You are doing so and so, and now write a spec on it. And it would write, and it would be like 80% on point because it's looking at what others in the company are talking about on the topic, what are the compete doing in the topic, what have I already written somewhere about this topic. It puts all of that together and creates
Wonderful.
the document, right? Now, this kind of innovation, I don't think 6 months back or even a year back was something that we were thinking
I didn't
is
even know
even
this was even
possible,
possible
wildly
today.
possible,
I didn't know that
right?
I could open Microsoft Word, I could open a
Today.
Copilot and say, you're a product manager at Microsoft, write a product spec on a feature, and it will actually write a good product spec. So, and very well explained how to prepare, how to first even get an interview call at Microsoft. I think that was just so well explained. And it talked about Grace, the scientist Grace Hopper
Yeah, yeah,
Convention. Do you want to tell people about Grace
yeah.
Hopper Convention, what this is, and how do people even go to this convention?
So Grace Hopper Convention is for women in tech. In the conference, we'll have a lot of talks from the industry leaders who've been in the industry for like 15, 20 years in tech, and how they manage, and giving their thoughts about problem solving, anything, everything, right? So they present case studies and so on. So it's a great exposure. I think it goes along with the feeling that, hey, you sometimes think you're only one, and when you go to these conferences, you notice there's collectively a lot of you going through the same journey and you learn from it, right? And in addition to having these talks and everything, they also have stalls from these tech companies. They talk about the work that they do, and like I said, you can just go strike a conversation with the leaders.
So, Rinku, Grace Hopper Convention is all about women in tech, right?
Right.
So, is that a career opportunity, like a career conference, or is it like just learn and network?
Based on the goal with which you attend the sessions, right? For me, it was, I attended for the talks because Flipkart, at that point in time in my team, I was the only women, and there were very few women that I knew in Flipkart. So it was interesting for me to see like other leaders there present there and talk about it. And I was just curious, hey, how do the other tech companies work? What's the process there? So it is more from that thought that I attended the sessions, from a curiosity point. But yeah, if you are looking at networking, they do have high tea sessions
Right.
and so on, so you can meet.
So we were talking about that you got into Microsoft and you've been there for about 3 years, and you got in Microsoft during the pandemic. What made you change your mind that move from Flipkart? Because if I remember right, post pandemic, online shopping got a new life of its own.
Right. Yeah. So there was definitely some tailwinds that improved the e-commerce, revenue and so on. But I think for me, it was always already 4 years at Flipkart, and I just wanted to try a new experience. And like I said, at Flipkart, I was just based out of Bangalore. With Microsoft, there was that possibility that you could later travel to the US or Redmond, and much more international exposure, which is kind of what pulled me towards the Microsoft experience that I wanted.